I'd like to welcome in now the founder of Not Your Average Autism Mom, Shannon Urquiola, whose son Jordan was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. Shannon, thank you so much for your time today. First of all, what was your initial reaction when you learned of this apparent announcement coming at this point in about an hour and a half from the White House?
Well, Nichole, I will tell you, I believe that, in my opinion, there has to be more factors involved rather than just one thing. Autism is incredibly complex, but I have 2 children. Only one of them is on the spectrum. So 2 years apart, Jordan's 29, my daughter Maddie is 27, and Jordan has autism and Madison doesn't. So I feel like it's very complex and there has to be more than one answer.
Yeah, that's a good point. And there are plenty, Shannon, in the medical field, as Joe just outlined there, who are disagreeing with any possible link here. There are also, some who just aren't sure that it's possible the administration found the cause of autism in really what's just been a few short months. I'd like to listen to what we heard from the White House press secretary about this upcoming announcement.
I think women for many years, in fact for decades, Ed, have been confused by the rapid increase in autism in this country, in the childhood epidemic, that is chronic epidemic, disease epidemic that is plaguing America's youth. Women are confused about that and they want answers to that. And that's exactly what this administration is focused on finding. And before you jump to conclusions based on reports that the White House has not even confirmed, I would encourage everyone in this room to go into the 4 o'clock announcement with some critical thinking skills and with some open ears to actually listen to what the president and his team of outsiders have to say about this. And there will be a number of things that will be announced and discussed. And I think, I know as a mother myself, I speak, I believe, for many mothers across the country who really want answers to what is happening to our nation's children.
All right, so Shannon, do you think there's room to at least consider what the administration is said to be suggesting here? And also, a second part of that, talk about that confusion that Caroline Levitt was talking about there.
Yeah, I think, Nichole, I think that for me and many families like me, we're actually grateful that researchers are continuing to look into possible causes. We'd love for them to find a clear answer for the families coming behind us. None of us planned this parenting path. And while we love our children fiercely, it would be amazing if other families didn't have to walk this same road. So I'm going into this press conference with an open mind, like Caroline Levitt said, but I'm also skeptical on one side of it because it has been very quick. And again, I think that just linking it to Tylenol is going to cause a lot of concern for many parents like myself.
Yeah, and Shannon, talk about what your family's experience has been like. I mean, you mentioned the fact you have 2 children. They're both adults now, one with autism, one who does not have autism.
Yes, correct. So my first child, Jordan, was diagnosed on the spectrum, and I think that our journey has been very difficult. Jordan really struggles with social interactions. He's not social. He's never had a friend. He's never had a sleepover. So there's a lot of nevers on that path. And he has some very negative behaviors that we've had to deal with through the years, which have made this journey extremely challenging for us. And I work with thousands of moms across the country who also face these challenges in different areas of their life.
Yeah, so talk about Not Your Average Autism Mom. Tell us about that organization.
So we are a nonprofit organization, and we help moms navigate this unplanned journey. I'm a life and parent coach, and I teach them how to, acceptance isn't just a place that we get to along this journey, right? We don't get there and plant our flag and say, okay, we've got this. Acceptance is a choice that they get to make every day and against all odds. And that's what we do here. We help families navigate this journey with grace and compassion and understanding and a willingness to share with the world what their parenting path looks like.
And Shannon, I have another question for you. As Joe talked about in his report there, we know that the maker of Tylenol is already pushing back. This announcement hasn't even officially come out yet. But, what do you think this could potentially mean for that brand? We know this is a medication that is so commonly used, especially during pregnancy when it's difficult to take really any medication. What do you think it could mean for Tylenol?
Well, I actually reached out to a close friend of mine this morning in regards to Tylenol, who is a RN, and she said, that's all we prescribe to pregnant women is Tylenol. So I think, the science is obviously still evolving, and there's research looking at many possible factors, but I think this could be very detrimental to Tylenol.
Yeah, my last question for you, and I know you talked about, you're glad that the research continues. Do you think this announcement that is set to come up will at least open the door to more studies, more examination of autism and the possible causes of autism?
I do believe it will open that door. I think that it's far more complex. I think, what's important for families like ours is we need more support and we need resources and hope, not blame. And, while for me, I never focused on the why when my son was diagnosed, I, absolutely want science to keep searching for those answers for future families. Because at the end of the day, whether you're focused on the why or the what now, like I was, every family deserves to be seen and supported and their children loved for who they are.
Absolutely. Shannon Urquiola, thank you so much for your time today.